MWD, and more. You'll also be hearing more about a couple of national town halls broadcasting live from Los Angeles, to which you will be invited. And we'll be rolling out a robust social media campaign on all our platforms, as well as an outdoor media campaign, all designed to educate, enlighten, and empower you in our fight for climate justice.
We want cleaner air.
Caring about the community means caring about the climate. At KBLA Talk 1580, we believe that we really can change the world if we care enough. 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 If we care enough.
First things first.
Things first, it's the DU General, Money B. I'ma put you up on the schedule, 6 to 9, 8 weekdays, not doing several years. We got a lot to talk about, so much to pedal through. Unapologetically progressive. Tune to KBLA 1580 to get the mess. We're your ancestors' favorite radio station. First black on talk radio, left side of the nation. Me and Dominique DiPrima go way back. Tag Smiley making sure the station stays black. Discussing all the issues in our community. We're hosted black and brown and others find unity. So let's talk about it. Maybe we can improve it. Digital underground, always down with the movement. So we tune in. The first things first with the queen of Black Talk Radio, Dominique DiPrima. Go sis.
First things first.
KBLA Talk 1580. Good morning and God bless. I'm Dominique DiPrima. This show is called First Things First. And my first thing today, my first thing tomorrow, and yesterday, giving thanks, giving praises, asking for blessings from the Most High, asking from the blessings of the ancestors and the elders. And let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We got a busy day around here as usual. The structure of the show is the first hour we look at local stuff, what's going on the left coast. Hour 2, we go national, international, and beyond. In the third hour, we do a deep dive with a person of interest or a hot topic. And today is no exception, except that it's Wealth Building Wednesday, so we'll be hearing from a Black-owned business. And I'm really actually quite excited because my partner in politics for hour 1 is also on a helping Black businesses tip, we could say, and really excited to talk to her about that. I want to remind you, you're welcome to call in any hour, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. You're also welcome to tap in on YouTube. I love when you do that. You can talk in the chat or just watch and listen. That's KBLA 1580, YouTube.com. And, of course, tap in on social media, KBLA 1580 on everything, Twitter, on Facebook, on Instagram. Yeah, I know it's called X. I don't care. I just read that. It makes Elon Musk irritated when we call it Twitter, so I'm calling it Twitter from now on. Anyway, I'm really excited to have live in studio with me a council member from the city of Hawthorne. She was elected November of 2022. She says she's been prioritizing helping the unhoused, public safety, economic development, and investing in youth and seniors. Before she was elected as a council member, she served as president of the Holly Park Homeowners Association and the Hawthorne Park and Recreation Commission, and continues to serve with several other volunteer organizations. Council member Katrina Manning, welcome.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Thanks for coming in. I know it's early and I know you have a long day ahead, so I appreciate you showing up live and in person. And for our KBLA delegation, they've been hearing your name constantly because of the event that you're doing on Thursday. And now we get to see you in person.
Yes, thank you so much for having me. I'm truly excited. This is my first job fair and business expo, and it's been a huge undertaking, and I just hope that everybody come out and get the things that they need. We are definitely working to make sure that everybody has something to come and take a look at. So whether you are looking for a job or panel discussion about, failures and success, or if you are interested in connecting with other businesses, we have it there for you.
I mean, it's perfect for Wealth Building Wednesday. One of the things we really focus on is recycling black dollars and sharing resources, because a lot of times for just businesses and individuals, there are programs and opportunities available, but we just don't know about them. And I hear this constantly from people in various community-based organizations. Specifically, Black folks don't know, and I'm not sure what that's about. It's like somehow other communities get the word of mouth and they, or whatever the outreach is, and they show up and they're there, and we are sometimes the last in line. So I really appreciate your doing the outreach on this station in particular. Anyone, of course, is welcome to the Business Expo and Job Fair, but come on now, let's get these opportunities. So is this a kind of situation where we should come like dressed to impress with the resume in hand?
Absolutely. There's going to be a number of companies there looking to hire, and they're excited. I would say this is that time where we heard it was like the big resignation. So a lot of employers are definitely looking for folks to hire. So your first impression is always so important. So obviously, please come dressed. If you're looking for a job, you want to come with their best foot forward so that immediately they're taking a likeness to you because you're coming prepared, and you could get hired on that day. So, and when you talk about information, I hear that all the time as well. So I made an effort to make sure that our community and folks in the community that are looking for work are aware of what's going on. I've been pushing this on all social media platforms to make sure if you know someone that's looking, tell that person. Sharing it with friends and saying, hey, share this with your network. And also just making sure that I continue to put it on social media networks, because I know you may not be on there today, but you may be on there tomorrow. And I don't want that to be a missed opportunity to provide this information for you to come out and get hired.
I mean, that's a great point. Also, the hood grapevine is real, right? If someone was giving out free Beyonce tickets, we would know it within 5 seconds.
Absolutely.
So we have to try. I think it's important that we at least strive to activate that community communications network, informal communications network, for opportunities like this as well. So I'm loving that. What is it, for you that made the economic development piece so important? I know that was, it's part of your platform as a council member, but it's also something you've been involved with prior to getting elected. Why is that your personal mission?
Well, growing up, growing up as a little girl, I saw folks that were helping people, and they were rich people. And I always thought growing up that if I could help people achieve their goals, that would be wonderful for me. But then I realized I didn't have to be rich. I realized that being rich means sharing information, being knowledgeable about things. And so I wanted to make sure that whatever knowledge that I have, I could share it with my network, with my platform, or just people in general, and see them grow. For me, seniors and our youth are people who I really go out my way to pour into. And I want our young folks to start off without a deficit, meaning, you graduate from high school and you're trying to go to college and you have to get all these loans and you sign up for all these credit cards. I want us to be able to start that process of building wealth when we're in middle school or, in high school. But part of that is, knowing where to put your money, being educated, right? We don't know about even basic things like how to write a check, right? and how to manage a credit card. And so for me, I want to make sure that our folks are having those opportunities, access to capital. You have a business and there's grants out there that can help you. But if you don't know about them, then that's a missed opportunity. And so I never want missed opportunities to happen to people in my network and our young folks. So whatever I can do to provide that, I will work tirelessly to make sure that folks have those opportunities and access to capital, financial literacy, and an opportunity to grow their business and to grow their knowledge.
Ever since I read that book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, which was many, many years ago, I realized that it isn't just Black people. Like, why do we not teach balancing a ledger? I know a lot of people don't write checks anymore, but you still have to keep track of, expenses versus income. You still have to, we should understand a profit and loss statement. We should be able to do a budget, but that's not taught in high school or college. And so, and then of course, other communities have generations of experience, so they're more likely to be passing that on. So there is that disadvantage, but it's an overall problem for everyone in our country.
Yeah. Well, for me, I've read that book as well, many, many moons ago. And for me, I believe our culture is afraid. So many times we've been taken advantage of. And I think because of our history and being taken advantage of, we're just afraid to just invest our money, period. Professionally, I'm a real estate agent, and one of the things that I advocate strongly for is having a living trust. And a lot of folk are afraid to get a living trust because they assume that a living trust is just going to take all of their money, when it actually protects you and protects your loved ones. And so for me, I continue to advocate to let folks know financial literacy is so important, and learning what, income statements, P&L, just writing a check, being able to manage your checkbook. Our kids should be learning this at a very early age. And I also feel like sometimes we just don't know. We don't have that information available to us. And I do believe, this is my theory, that there are a group of folks that want to keep us in the dark about the financial literacy. And as a generation, we continue to move forward not knowing and not having an interest, right? Because when you think about the mortgage crisis, when people associate financial, they associate it with losing. And so moving forward, we've got to put that in a better perspective so that they don't believe that putting your money in the bank or investing is a bad thing.
Yeah. And those are all great points. And I do think that, the reason I was laughing or smiling when you said living trust, because I worked with a man named Zoran Basic for years. He's an elder care attorney, and we used to do a show, Basic Family Affairs, teaching people about that stuff. And I hadn't really been up on that whole part where if you have a living trust, you can actually control what happens to your money after you're dead.
Yeah.
And you can protect assets that are there now from all kinds of different, even creditors in certain situations. So that was an eye opener. And that's something almost all rich people have.
Absolutely. It's the first thing you do. One of the things that I tell people all the time, you work for 20, 30 years. The last thing you want is for your money to go to somebody that didn't deserve it.
Right.
You don't want it to go to the state. You don't want that person to just show up. And you haven't had a relationship with them. And then all of a sudden they're the next of kin and they get your money, but you hate them because they were so mean to you.
But I'm laughing because that's one of the things I learned from Attorney Basic is that's almost always what happens.
It always happens.
We don't have a plan. The person we can't stand is the one that's going to end up with our assets and making decisions about our health care. We think that automatically because we're married, we have control, or that's my mama. No, if you don't have the paperwork, a doctor or some distant cousin that don't like you either is going to come up and end up controlling your stuff. It's really amazing. We don't know that, and I'm glad you're doing the work.
Oh, yeah. I was reading an article that talked about Prince and that him and his sister were estranged for many, many, many years. And then he passes away without a living trust. And now, she's one of the people that controls Paisley Park, and some of the money. And then he had other step siblings that also were able to get money. Can you imagine that he had no relationship with these people? And then now all of a sudden they're like super rich and over this museum that's going to continue years and years and years.
Yeah.
And it's nothing he could do. He's gone. So when you think about people like Aretha Franklin, James Brown, how many years that they were, going through court because they didn't have a living trust. And for me, I've seen so many situations where folks got the money and the siblings, they fought when that person was alive, and then now they're making those decisions. So it's really important for folks to have a living trust. And I cannot emphasize enough, please. And it's not as expensive as people believe.
Yeah, we'll talk about that when we come forward. And just a lot of business things. It's a wealth building Wednesday, and I'm super happy to have Hawthorne City Councilwoman Katrina Manning in studio live with me. If you got a question, 800-920-1580. We are KBLA Talk 1580.
She's reclaiming her time on KBLA Talk 1580. More First Things First with Dominique Baraka when we come forward.
On your period, sudden gushes happen without warning. But now, you can say goodbye to stand-up gush fears. Thanks to Always Ultra Thins with rapid dry technology. It absorbs gushes 2 times faster than the leading store brand and gives you up to 100% leak-free protection. Hello, clean and comfortable with Always Fear No Gush.
We've got a lot to talk about.
Hi, I'm Ray Richardson, your sports connection here at KBLA Talk 1580. Join me and my co-host Neil Scarborough every Saturday night at 7 for Out of Bounds, the show that brings some flavor to the world of sports for 60 minutes. We take you beyond the scores and press conferences. We give you our point of view, the way black folks see what's going down. You can join the conversation and give us your analysis at 1-800-920-1580. Out of Bounds every Saturday night at 7 on KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
Unapologetically progressive. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got your black.
You like the style, though.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Gabby.
Hey, Gabby. It's Jennifer Coolidge. Hi. I'm so glad I reached you at 2 a.m.
Oh, of course. Anyone with a Discover card can call and talk to a real person 24/7. Now, how can I help?
Yeah, I used my Discover card to buy these yellow pleather pajamas, and I'm just not sure I'm pulling them off.
24/7 U.S.-based customer service. It pays to Discover. Limitations apply. Learn more at discover.com/creditcard.
Paid for by government.com. Did you know? The United States Mint has issued a new Morgan silver dollar coin in proof condition for the first time. Not only that, they are also minted in 99.9% pure silver for the first time ever in history. Coin experts are calling this an amazing opportunity for anyone that knows the enduring popularity of Morgans. But you must hurry. Only 400,000 of these legal tender silver dollars were issued. These first ever Morgan silver dollars are brand new with stunning mirror-like finish, Minted by the iconic San Francisco Mint. Call now and you're guaranteed a new first ever 99.9% pure silver proof Morgan dollar. To learn more, call 1-800-973-9717. If you order now, you will receive a free coin collector bonus pack, a $25 value, free with every order. Call 1-800-973-9717 now to secure your new Morgan silver dollars before they are gone. That's 1-800-973-9717.
Your ancestors' favorite radio station, and your favorite morning show host. Let's get back to Dominique DiPrima right now.
Right now, we're talking with Councilmember Katrina Manning, the city of Hawthorne. And for information on Thursday's event, hawthornebusinessexpo.org, hawthornebusinessexpo.org. I will be there. I will be emceeing and hanging out. And it is at 3901 West El Segundo Boulevard in Hawthorne, 3901 West El Segundo Boulevard. That's the Hawthorne Memorial Center. I've never been there before either, but I'm looking forward to it. And I think from just reading your bio, Councilwoman, you seem like the classic person who is a business person, got involved with community stuff, different councils and boards, and then decided to level up and run for office.
Well, I decided because I wanted to be that voice for the voiceless. I want to make sure that I'm at the table and I'm getting all the food that's available, because I have a family and a network that's hungry, and I want to make sure that they're getting that food. And so often people in the community would come to me and say, well, what about this and what about this and what about this? But they just didn't have the capacity, or they wasn't fearless to do that work and ask those questions. And for me, it's a weird situation where I'm fearless, but I'm afraid at the same time.
Well, to me, courageous doesn't mean you don't have fear. It means you do it anyway.
Yeah.
It means you're afraid and you do it anyway.
I do it anyway because I'm more afraid of what'll happen if I don't do it. So often I go into situations completely frightened, but at the same time, I'm willing to take a stand for the things that I believe in, and to help the people and to help my community. And part of that is because it's important for me to leave a legacy behind for my daughter, and letting her know that she can achieve and accomplish anything. And I want her to see by example that, you could be afraid, but still do it.
Yeah. Well, we got some folks on YouTube. Kwamel Allah wants to know if you know what's going on with the Hawthorne Plaza. That, he would love to see it converted into housing. Do you have any scoop on that?
Well, what I can tell you is the owner of that property has put that mall up for sale, and we're just currently waiting on someone. If you know someone that's got $240 million, tell them to call me, because we would love for that mall to be sold.
Wow. I mean, it's one of the things we talk about on the show a lot is that mall is not always the greatest business investment right now, and we need truly affordable housing. Hawthorne is in LA County. Could the county conceivably, I know they're starting to buy stuff.
Well, here's the thing. We've been mandated to have a certain amount of units of housing in our city. And so we also have to be mindful of, we in Hawthorne don't have any more land. And so the mall is such a big part of our city. And so really our goal is to, do some housing, maybe bring in some manufacturing companies.
So like a mixed
use.
Yeah.
We definitely looking for opportunities to create a mixed use situation with that mall. But we can't do anything until we find a buyer. Well, not us, but the owner of that property find a buyer. And I'm excited to see, because we have traction on that mall that we haven't had in 30 years. So I'm looking forward to having some kind of traction on that mall. So stay tuned.
Paul Lee said I really miss the old Hawthorne Mall. Great childhood memories at that mall and the old theater that used to be right next to it.
I do too.
We only have a minute and a half till news, traffic, and sports, and we'll continue on the other side. And I am going to pick back up on that what we were talking about Living Trust. But I don't think we can do it in a minute and a half. So tell me what people don't know about the city of Hawthorne. I feel like maybe it doesn't get the love that it should compared to some of our other small Los Angeles County cities.
Well, we have our own airport. And the great thing about having our airport, people like Beyonce, Taylor Swift, when they have concerts, they can fly into our airport and go straight to the SoFi Stadium without the hassle that they have at LAX. We also have SpaceX right next to our airport. A lot of folks don't know we, flying rockets, and it's a great opportunity for other businesses like manufacturing that supply, that have supplies that they could sell to SpaceX. And that's an opportunity for them to continue to build wealth, because they're going to be building spaceships. I'm saying rocket ships. I apologize, for quite some time. So having those two things is major for our city.
All right. You never do hear about the Hawthorne Airport. We're talking with Councilmember Katrina Manning, and the job expo and fair is on Thursday. HawthorneBusinessExpo.org. Continuing the conversation, we're going to get back into the Living Trust after news, traffic, and sports on KBLA Talk 1580.
More of First Things First with Dominique DiPrima when we come forward.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. American missionaries are trapped in Haiti and they're worried no one is coming to rescue them. The Caribbean nation has descended into chaos as gang violence has overtaken the country. One missionary, Jill Dolan, helps run an orphanage in the capital, Port-au-Prince, and says the U.S. Embassy hasn't been able to provide much help. At the embassy, non-essential personnel have been evacuated and additional Marines have been brought in for security. The attorneys for a Boeing whistleblower found dead over the weekend are speaking out. 62-year-old John Barnett was found dead outside of a South Carolina hotel. He was known for speaking out about Boeing's production standards after working for the company for over 3 decades. In a statement, the attorney said they didn't see any indication that Barnett would take his own life. And that's the latest. I'm Mike Moore from your 24/7 news source, the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Unleash your style in 2024 at FS Cut and Color. Get a fabulous cut and color duo from one of their expert stylists at unbeatable prices. Only at Fantastic Sam's, where hair care meets affordability. Visit FantasticSams.com to find one of their 60 SoCal salons near you.
This is the KBLA Sports Minute with Ray Richardson.
A bad night for the Clippers. They lost by 18 at home to Minnesota, and at the end of the first quarter, the Clippers watched Kawhi Leonard walk to the locker room. He did not return. The Clippers medical staff said the team's leading scorer is suffering with back spasm. No word yet on whether Kawhi will be able to play Thursday night at Chicago. The Lakers are back in action tonight in Sacramento. Another critical game for the Lakers. They're trying to get into the 8th and final playoff spot in the Western Conference. At the moment, the Lakers are a game and a half behind Dallas. Tip-off time at 7 p.m. on ESPN. UCLA forward Adeem Bona, a 6'10 sophomore from Nigeria, was voted Pac-12 Conference Defensive Player of the Year. Bona averaged 1.8 block shots and played a key role in UCLA, allowing a conference-low 65 points per game. No debates, no speculation, just the info you need. That's your KBLA Sports Minute. I'm Ray Richardson on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey Californians, are you ready to make your home ownership dreams come true? The California Dream for All Shared Appreciation Loan Program might be for you. First-generation homebuyers can get down payment and closing cost assistance along with a first mortgage to help you unlock the door of your new home. Applications open in April, so talk to an approved lender to see if you're eligible. Find out more at calhfa.ca. cbhca.gov/dream or call 877-922-5432. A message from the California Housing Finance Agency.
KBLA Talk 1580 joins you in celebrating Women's History Month. I'm Dominique DiPrima. Join me and Black Lives Matter Los Angeles for a reclamation in honor of Breonna Taylor called Black Women Are Divine. There'll be food, music, performances, and healing services with a special performance by Aloe Black. I'll be your MC, and it's all free. Black Women Are Divine is a space for Black women, girls, and femmes to receive love and healing, and for others to express their appreciation. Many of the 33 Black Lives Matter grassroots chapters across the nation are participating in this honoring of the memory of Breonna Taylor on the anniversary of her death. The BLMLA event is taking place on Sunday, March 17th from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. at Norman O. Houston Park at 4800 South La Brea in Los Angeles. The park at the Summit. For special parking options and more information, visit blmla.org. Say her name, Breonna Taylor, and join us in loving on Black women. Happy Women's History Month from all of us at KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm getting vaccinated with Prevnar 20, a Pfizer vaccine.
So am I, because I'm at risk for pneumococcal pneumonia.
If you're 19 or older with chronic conditions like asthma, diabetes, COPD, or heart disease, or are 65 or older, you are at increased risk for pneumococcal pneumonia. Ask your doctor or pharmacist about Prevnar 20, pneumococcal 20-valent conjugate vaccine. It can help protect you against pneumococcal pneumonia in just one dose. Even if you've already been vaccinated with other pneumonia vaccines, Prevnar 20 may help provide added protection. Prevnar 20 is approved for adults to help prevent infections from 20 strains of the bacteria that cause pneumococcal pneumonia. Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you've had a severe allergic reaction to the vaccine or its ingredients. Adults with weakened immune systems may have a lower response to the vaccine. Side effects include pain and swelling at the injection site, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138 or visit Prevnar20.com.
Pizza's here. Oh, great. I'd love some, but I'm worried about my stomach issues.
If you're worried about having diarrhea, gas, bloating, stomach pain, or loose, oily stools, it may not just be stomach issues. It could be a condition called exocrine pancreatic insufficiency, or EPI. With EPI, the pancreas doesn't release enough enzymes to break down food, but EPI is manageable. Use the symptom checker on identifyepi.com and talk to your doctor. That's identifyepi.com. Sponsored by AbbVie.
Getting quality employees to fill positions in your company is essential, but finding those people can be a major hassle unless you use ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter makes finding quality people a breeze. ZipRecruiter's advanced technology identifies candidates with the right skills, sends you great matches, then you can easily invite them to apply. 4 out of 5 employers who post on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. See for yourself. Go to ZipRecruiter.com/free to try ZipRecruiter for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Thanks for waking up with Dominique DiPrima on KBLA Talk 1580.
We over here comparing notes. Councilmember Katrina Manning is with me out of the city of Hawthorne. You guys didn't have an election this past Super Tuesday. You're in till 2026. And you're doing something for the community. All are invited. It is a job fair and a business expo. I love the combination of those two. And all are welcome. It's free. Free. HawthorneBusinessExpo.com. I'll be there. I am hosting it, emceeing it along with Councilmember Manning. This will be our first time working together like this and looking forward to that day. So all are welcome. You can just show up at the Hawthorne Memorial Center. It's 3 p.m. to 7 p.m., right?
Exactly.
3 p.m. to 7, 3901 West El Segundo Boulevard in Hawthorne. If you need a job, if you need some business tips, we'll get into all of that. If you want to call, you're welcome to chat it up with us, 800-920-1580, 800-920-1580. So we're talking about this being Wealth Building Wednesday, which is a thing we do every day precisely because of what you were saying, Councilwoman, about how we need more financial literacy, not in an abstract sense, but in the sense of our everyday lives. You know, how do we manage our money? What do we leave for our children? You were giving the examples of Prince and Aretha Franklin, who actually had several wills. They found one in the couch cushions, which ended up holding up in court. I think about Gary Coleman, remember the actor? He never got divorced from his wife, even though they were not together, never updated his paperwork, and she was the one who made the decision to pull the plug and take him off life support because he never updated his documents. So she still had medical power of attorney. Oh yeah, unplug him. That's my ex.
Yeah.
So, these things, you don't think about it, but it actually has real concrete, and, of course, my mom passed a couple of years ago and then her husband passed. So we're dealing with all this stuff right now. Wish that they had a living trust.
Yeah. Same here. The reason that I became such a strong advocate for it was, my sister passed away. And she didn't have it. My husband's father passed away, and his parents, they never divorced, right? They were, I would say, for the last 10 years of his life, they were still married. And so once he passed away, she was able to get everything, and she hadn't spoken and talked to him in years. And then, she was the person who was responsible for making all of the decisions as it regard him. And so with my sister, she lived in Michigan, and I had to fly out to Michigan and figure out Michigan's probate system.
They have a totally different law in every state.
And it was so different, but it was frustrating because you'd wait in a line for like 1 hour, and then you get there and the person say, oh, you're missing this sheet of paper. And then you go back and you get it. And it was a nightmare. And that experience, I said, I don't want anyone to have to go through what I went through. And so I came back to California, and I immediately implemented that in my business practice.
Smart.
And everywhere I went, I told people, you have to have a living trust.
Well, the other thing is it makes it private. It's no longer a public matter. And you don't have to wait a long time because you don't have to go through probate. Probate takes 100 years.
It takes forever.
Do you know
to
my
go
dad
through.
died in 2014 and we're still in probate?
That's crazy.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Because he had a will, but
Right.
he didn't have a living trust. It's different.
It's different. It is very different. And if you have, and this is the most craziest thing about it, is that some person off the street could be like watching you every day and all of a sudden find out you passed away and go to court and contest it and say that they are owed millions of dollars from your estate. And the courts have to honor what they're saying. They have to listen to them. And anybody could challenge.
Right. And the other thing is, if you're a complicated family like many of us have, where you got stepkids and baby mamas and, baby mama to the baby mama, it can go everywhere but you.
Exactly.
It could go to somebody you ain't never even met.
Never met.
Yeah. So that's real. That is really, really real. So are these, and one more thing before we move on from this, you said it's not as expensive as people think.
Yeah. So I got my living trust in 2024. I'm sorry, 2004. It was $1,500. And $1,500, when you think about if you have millions of dollars, like if you work at a job and you have insurance on your job, and then you also have insurance that you've bought on your personal, you have a car, your clothes, your diamonds, like all of these things are assets that you can
to
make
me,
money.
even if you don't have that much stuff, even if you just have a family home,
you
want to make sure it goes where you say it
right.
goes. That's
very, 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 very important to make sure that your home, if you have a family home, that it goes to the person you want it to go to. And all of this needs to be put into that living trust. I tell you that you can't come back, right? You in your grave, you could be upset that your family home went to the wrong person. You want it to go to that person. And so you want to make sure, like you mentioned, the health thing, right? You want to make sure that folks that are taking care of you are the folks that you want to take care of you, and not make decisions for your health that you don't want. You want to do that prior to.
Yeah, you can do a health directive. Okay, so let's talk about these panels, because I'm sure, the business piece, there's a jobs piece. You can come with your suit on, come with your resume, be ready to maybe get a job on the spot, upgrade your work life. But you have a special guest speaker, Danny Bakewell Jr., and you have a number of panels where people are going to be learning, maybe not about living trust, but things about that they need to know for their business, right?
Right. So why I'm so excited about the panel is it's a very diverse group of folks that are bringing in real life jobs that folks are actually working. One of the panelists is called Gusta Barbara. And so many people have this myth that you can't have a very lucrative career doing hair. And he's a barber, and he's been doing this for many, many years. He has 3 locations, one in Australia and one in Ohio and one in LA. He's a celebrity barber, and they actually modeled that movie Barbershop after his after his shop. And so he's currently working on the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air TV show currently right now. But he makes a very lucrative it's a very lucrative career for him. And so I want folks to know that, hey, you can go into the hair care industry, which is a $1 billion industry. That's why Beyonce is now in that industry, because there's so much
hair
money
products,
to be made. And then we talk about the new thing that's happening is charging stations. And there's been a mandate that we're going to be moving to charging stations for our cars. And so we need to learn about that. But there's all types of jobs that's in that industry. And now is the time. I'm not a financial guru, but I would say that now's the time to invest in charging stations, because that's going to be the future of us having to get our cars. Also, who else we have on that?
Well, it looks like a networking reception. So that's, bring the business cards or your little QR code on your phone. So you can actually talk to people that are on the panels and other attendees and practice on our networking skills.
Absolutely. So I'm excited because, again, there's something for everybody, an opportunity to get access to capital. We have our Small Business Association that's going to be there, but we also have financial institutions that are going to be providing information to folks on how to get capital. What do you need to do? Because again, when we talked about earlier, we mentioned knowledge is power. And if we don't know about what we need to do, then we can't grow. And so this is what the city of Hawthorne is about. We're making sure we're providing information that you could take away to grow, whether it's your business, your knowledge, and being hired.
Yep. And it looks like you're giving away an award for Business of the Year. That should be interesting. Lots of good stuff. It's always informative to talk with top business leaders like this Gusta Barber, like, of course, Danny Bakewell Jr., who owns the Sentinel. And you just never know what can come about when you get out and set your intention to improve your business and or your job prospects. That's Thursday from 3 p.m. to 7 p.m. at the Memorial Center, 3851 West El Segundo Boulevard in the city of Hawthorne. It sounds like it's actually going to be fun, and we'll continue this conversation it's a wealth building Wednesday. We're all leveling up together. And part of the way we do that is having these conversations. You know where we have them, right here on KBLA Talk 1580.
A safe place to go loud. A great place for progressive politics. KBLA Talk 1580.
Imagine with me here for a minute the most beautiful panoramic setting. Maybe it's an endless ocean, waves crashing on a beach, or a crystal clear mountain lake, peaceful and quiet. Or maybe it's just little kids playing in the park down the street. Wherever your imagination takes you, now imagine right smack in the middle of this perfect picture, a piece of litter. Just one piece right there in the middle of it all. Doesn't exactly fit, does it? In fact, even though it's just one piece, now it's all you can see. That one piece ruins everything. And that's the thing about litter. It doesn't take much to ruin everything. One thing's for sure, it simply does not belong anywhere in California. So here's the good news. If we work together, we will change it. We don't have to let litter, even just one piece, ruin your perfect picture. Not anymore, not ever again. Clean California, zero litter is the goal. Brought to you by Caltrans and CleanCA.com.
JP Morgan Chase is building on the investments in California to help close the racial wealth gap and build a more equitable future. Visit jpmorganchase.com/racial equity and get the tools to help reach your financial goals.
If you're looking for the most epic place on earth, let's start at the base of a massive waterfall. Then trek through the thick jungle. Then climb to the peak of a snowy mountaintop. Then once you get there, keep going. Because with intelligent 4x4 and 7 drive modes and a Nissan Pathfinder, the search is the real adventure.
Available feature. Intelligent 4x4 cannot prevent collisions or provide enhanced traction in all conditions. Always monitor traffic and weather conditions.
Sometimes we lose, sometimes we win. Sometimes we try to fit it all in. Sometimes we don't know what's in store. Sometimes we find what we're looking for. Sometimes we're rolling easy and free. Sometimes 1 and 1 makes 3. So much to love along this ride. That's why Nationwide is on your side.
Nationwide Mutual Insurance Company and Affiliates, Columbus, Ohio.
L.A. Prepare a righteous rage, and don't be afraid to say what you see. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
And we're speaking with the councilwoman from the city of Hawthorne, my new buddy, Katrina.
Absolutely.
Manning. She's got this business expo, and we're in Wealth Building Wednesday mode, which we are really in wealth building mode every day. We talk about generational wealth a lot, and what does it take to create momentum for your business and also your personal finance. And one of the things that you have on here, aside from, we've got Danny Bakewell Jr., who's going to be speaking, and of course, the reception at the end, which will be, meet and greet kind of thing, is a chance to hear from and also possibly network from some top-level folks. So you mentioned Julie Close from SBA, but some of us don't really quite get it when we hear SBA. It's the Fed's small business arm, right?
Yeah, it's the Small Business Association. And when we talk about knowledge, that's where I decided to bring her in, because there are so many different opportunities to access grants that's out there that maybe your business could use. And she'll be able to provide that information. There's so many things out there that folks don't know about. And so I'm really excited for her to be on this panel, because she's going to be sharing that information with the businesses.
Right. SBA has grants. They have low cost loans that aren't unreachable. You don't have to have perfect credit and $1 billion. So all kinds of opportunities there. And then Ingrid Merriweather, who's been on this show before.
Yeah, so I'm excited to have her, because...
Stop calling the councilwoman. She's on the radio right now.
I'm excited to have her because she's going to be talking about not only grants that she's aware of, but insurance, right?
Yeah.
When you have a business, it's so important to have insurance to protect you from lawsuits. A lot of folks don't realize how many people are willing just to sue for no reason, especially in the state of California. You can sue for anything. And so you got to be protected. And so I'm excited for her to be able to share those nuggets with you as well. And, because she's been in the business community for so long, she has all sorts of nuggets, not only for insurance, but also to help support you as well.
Yeah, the other thing is there's contracts and requests for proposals that you have to have a bond for. And many times smaller businesses, Black businesses, BIPOC-owned businesses do not have the ability to get that
That's right.
multiple $million bond. And I've heard her speak before at the Department of Water and Power Diversity Supplier Fair. She has shortcuts and ways. She's helped a lot of folks get bonded.
Yeah, and recently I know that she's partnered with a city of Los Angeles to provide more opportunities. I saw her at an event as well, and she talked about, them being able to help you get that bond. And so it's an amazing opportunity that you do not want to miss. These folks are here to help you to get these nuggets and the challenges that you may face, and the information that they're going to be providing to you is when you get to a roadblock, how do you navigate through that roadblock? And that's the information that you need to continue to move forward and be successful in your business, is being able to know who do you call, right? Who provides what? You get the grants, you get the information, you move forward.
Talking with Hawthorne City Council member Katrina Manning and you, it's KBLA Talk 1580.
The station you turn to when you've had it up to here with cultural incompetence. KBLA Talk 1580.
Substance use disorder and addiction is so isolating. And so, as a Black woman in recovery, hope must be loud. It grows louder when you ask for help and you're vulnerable. It is the thread that lets you know that no matter what happens, you will be okay.
When we learn the power of hope, recovery is possible. Find out how at startwithhope.com. Brought to you by the National Council for Mental Wellbeing, Shatterproof, and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm Dominique DiPrima, inviting you to join me at the City of Hawthorne's Business Expo and Job Fair, presented by Hawthorne City Councilwoman Katrina Manning. Explore great opportunities with leading national and local companies and participate in panel discussions with top entrepreneurs such as Goose the Barber, Camille C. Terry, and special guest speaker Danny Bakewell Jr., president of the LA Sentinel. So please join me and Council member Katrina Manning on Thursday, March 14th from 3 to 7 p.m. at the Hawthorne Memorial Center at 3901 West El Segundo Boulevard in Hawthorne for the Hawthorne Business Expo and Job Fair. That's Thursday, March 14th, the City of Hawthorne's Business Expo and Job Fair. Visit their website at hawthornebusinessexpo.org or call 310-349-2908. That's 310-349-2908 to register. It's absolutely free and open to the public. I'll see you there.
I can't believe tax season is here already. Look at all this info I have to enter.
Phil's small accounting firm is growing in numbers.
Why didn't I take that typing class in high school?
A data entry specialist could really help him in a crunch.
I got blisters on my fingers!
Indeed can help him hire great people fast.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. You can schedule and conduct virtual interviews all from your employer dashboard. Visit Indeed.com/credit and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
We're not for everybody, but we're for everybody. You're listening to KBLA Talk 1580.
Okay, we're talking leveling up, and who is Angel Pastrama? We're here with Councilwoman Katrina Manning out of the City of Hawthorne. She's put this whole thing together, hawthornebusinessexpo.org, but this is one of the presenters.
So he is from BMO Bank, and he's going to talk about access to capital for your businesses. When we talk about opportunities, we need those loans. We need to be able to get the money to do the things to, keep our business afloat and also to grow our business. So he's on there to make sure that you're being provided access to capital. And that is the key, is being able to find somebody that can answer those questions and show you how to fill out an application. The things that you don't know that may be preventing you from being able to get that business loan, he's going to be able to provide those answers to those questions.
And then you have Judy Ambers joining from Microsoft.
Yes. So a lot of times people are extremely creative in terms of their business, but they're not tech savvy. And in order to grow your business, you have to be tech savvy. Whether you hire somebody, you have an intern, or you need to be able to have technology, be able to move your business forward. And that's where we are, especially with the pandemic. When you had to pivot during the pandemic, the internet was one of the things that folks turned to create money for their company. And so she's here to make sure that you are aware of some of the things that you need to do for your business as it regards to technology. And also, in addition to that, they will offer free training. They want to make sure that folks are getting the education that they need. So I'm excited with our partnership with Microsoft, because we're going to be putting on classes in the future coming forward to our business community to make sure that you're getting the technology and the understanding that you need to move your business forward.
Got about a minute here. Councilwoman Katrina Manning, what do you want to leave us with?
I want to say, make sure that you get a living trust. Make sure that you show up your whole self to our business expo, looking for opportunity, whether it's to network with another business, to get a job, or to just get the information that you need to be successful. I look forward to seeing you. Thank you so much for having me today. What a pleasure.
Thanks for coming in, and I will be there. It is tomorrow, Hawthorne Business Expo, hawthornebusinessexpo.org. It's free. All are welcome. We will see you there. Councilwoman Manning, thank you so much. It's time for Wealth Building Wednesday, next on KBLA Talk 1580.
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Mike Moore. Here's the latest from the Black Information Network. American missionaries are trapped in Haiti and they're worried no one is coming to rescue them. The Caribbean nation has descended into chaos as gang violence has overtaken the country. One missionary, Jill Dolan, helps run an orphanage in the capital, Port-au-Prince, and says the U.S. Embassy hasn't been able to provide much help. At the embassy, non-essential personnel have been evacuated and additional Marines have been brought in for security. The attorneys for a Boeing whistleblower found dead over the weekend are speaking out. 62-year-old John Barnett was found dead outside of a South Carolina hotel. He was known for speaking out about Boeing's production standards after working for the company for over 3 decades. In a statement, the attorney said they didn't see any indication that Barnett would take his own life. 24/7 News Source.